The Joker at the club's Serge Holland, massive personality, great sense of humour. He's always playing practical jokes, and he's a real character. Sort of bloke who would go into the changing rooms, get the toilet paper, unravel it all, wipe deep heat all over it, and then roll it back up. He's just that sort of bloke. So yeah, Serge Holland, he's the Joker at Tron FC. Bit of a fucking joker in front of goal as well, actually, at times. Worst dressed is probably either Dan Hunt. He's proper scruffy. Hunt, he turns up to matches. He's got like paint all over his clothes, and he brings his boots in like a Tesco value carrier bag. He's a bit of a tramp. Westy as well, Ewan Westwood. I like to call him Westy One T-shirt because basically I've only ever seen him wearing one top, which is a Leicester City shirt with "Is It" on the back. He wears that like training to every match, every social event we've had, he's got that on. He probably sleeps in it. I mean, to be honest, if he gets married to Leslie, I would imagine he'll walk down the aisle with that Leicester City "Is It" shirt on. He's a right scruff bag. Matty Wilson's had the odd fashion shocker, but I'd say probably the worst dressed is Gary Osmond. I mean, some of the things that he wears on a night out are just unbelievably shocking. So I'll say Gary Osmond. Best dressed, once again, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but you know, I do set the fashions at Tron FC. First player to wear the snood. You know, still waiting for the other lads to follow suit on that one, but you know, I know about fashion. Apart from me, I'd say Puya. Puya's very fashionable, and Aaron Barber, you know, he wears some good stuff. So yeah, apart from myself, Puya and Aaron Barber. Yeah, a few of the lads have got these sort of pre-match rituals or superstitions. Bit of OCD going on, I think. Serge Holland, he's got one where he has to turn up 5 minutes before kick-off at the ground, chain smoking, and then he does a thing where he walks around the changing room shaking everyone's hand. He always does it anti-clockwise, not too sure why. Chris Lavisher, he's got to have sort of 10 pints of coffee before a game, and if he doesn't, you know, he gets his head down and he won't perform. It's got to be Costa as well. He's a bit of a Costa fan, you know, you wouldn't catch him drinking Maxwell House, I'll tell you that. So yeah, you know, Lavy's banging to his coffee. He cut his leg open once at a match, and he was seriously bleeding brown blood. There's that much coffee in his system. Post-match rituals though, I'd have to say Matty Wilson. After the match, he's got a ritual where he has to sort of get out the ground as soon as possible without paying his subs. Oh, best answer at Tron FC has got to be Gary Osmond. Great mover. He's a threat on the DF, I'll tell you. Seen him in action a few times. Last time we went out for a team bonding session, we went to Andover, and we ended up in a nightclub called Life, quality nightclub. Anyway, Ozzy was on the DF, busting out some moves, and he caught the attention of this young lady sat on the edge of the dance floor, and she sort of waved him over. So Ozzy sort of like danced over to her, doing all his moves, and next thing he's snogging her face off for about 5 minutes, and he's like turning around to all of us, like giving it the big un, like, yeah, you know, I've pulled and all that, and everyone's like, fair play, Ozzy. Next thing he goes off to the bar, dances over to the bar to get him and this lady a drink, and dances his way back past all of us lot, and he's like, yeah, giving it the thumbs up, you know, watch me, I pulled in it, and he's got this massive grin on his face. Suddenly he just turns round to face the girl, and she's getting off with Puya. So you know, Unlucky Aussie, thumbs down. But yeah, Aussie, great dancer, best dancer, and Puya, possibly the worst wingman that anyone could ever wish for. Worst taste in music. Well, Wayne Charlton's got to be up there. Obviously, his favourite band of all time is The Wanted, and he's got the Wanted ringtone on his phone. He's got rubbish taste in music, Wayner. He also loves a bit of George Michael. The highlight of his year was when George Michael tribute act performed live at the Overton Institute last month. And Wayner was all over that, I tell you, properly all over that. As soon as the poster went up in Tasties, he was all over that. George Michael tribute at the Stoop, or as he now calls the Stoop, Club Tropicana, drinks a free shag. The other one who's got bad taste in music is Serge Holland. He gives it that he's a bit of a hard man, but he loves a bit of he loves his pop music and boy bands. I went round to his house once actually, uninvited, and knocked on the intercom, and his missus let me in. And as I got to his door, I could just hear like this music. She opened the door. She said, "I'm going out, Kaka. Serge is in the bath. You can just wait in the living room." Sat in there, and for the next 20 minutes, Serge was just singing along at the top of his voice to the Will Young Greatest Hits album. Then that finally stopped, and I thought, great, he's getting out of the bath at last. He did get out of the bath, only to change the CD and put in the greatest hits of the Spice Girls, which he sang from start to finish. So, Serge, another shout for that. God, most injury prone without a doubt is Gareth Cook. He's like the Darren Anderton of Tron FC. Sometimes he don't even make it through the pre-match warm-up without pulling his hamstring. You know, he does have troubles. Actually, I recently attended his wedding, and even there, just after him and his new wife Sophie had said their vows to each other, I overheard Cookie saying to her, "Sorry, Soph, but I'm going to have to give the first dance a miss." And she was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Oh, I've just pulled my hammy." Best wheels, well, it's certainly not James McCallion, that's for sure. It's got to be Wayne Barlow. You know, he's got the best car. He's also got the best private jet. I think the only thing that he ain't got the best is the best caravan, which obviously Wayne Charlton's got. You know, he's got the best caravan at the club, or as he likes to call it in his gypsy slang, a trailer. Oh yeah, we've got loads of lookalikes at the club. Serge Holland, he fancies himself as a bit of a Bruce Willis lookalike, but I personally think he looks like that camp judge, Justin off Dancing on Ice. Bit of a ringer for him. Macca obviously looks like the Shermanator from American Pie. Then you've got Dean Thomas, Ross Kemp. Gareth Cook, he looks like Jeremy Kyle. Bob Gordon, he looks like Gary Glitter. Rob Francis, he looks like the presenter Dara from Mock the Week. Trying to think what else. There's a few in the reserves actually as well. Harry Palmer, he looks like Justin Bieber. Dan Arkin looks like Dirk Cout. Not the best looking of lads, is he, Danny Argid? But then again, he gets his looks off his dad. Ollie Birch, he looks like that lotto lout Michael Carroll. Ross Barber, he looks a bit like Ben Mitchell off EastEnders. And Marvin White, yeah, he looks like Harvey.
What, from So Solid Crew?
No, from you know, Jordan's kid Harvey. The most intelligent player at the club has got to be Gareth Cook. What can I say? He reads the Times, so It's got to be him. My best mate at the club's got to be Timmy Oyland, the Magic. Obviously, he's my footballing wife. Look forward to spending my Saturdays with Timmy. He's a great lad. Man of few words, but he knows his stuff. And he wins us a lot of games from the sidelines. Yeah, old Timmy. More tic-tacs than Wrigley's ball. Most valuable player. Well, everyone at the club's valuable, and they've all got their own strengths and things that they bring to the side, and they all do a job. But I'd say the most valuable players, if I had to choose, would be Macca and Matty Wilson. Obviously, those two are great lads. They're honest lads, do a job. They both got a lot of ability. They both got a lot of loyalty towards this club, and they're the sort of guys that I can build a team around for the next 10 years. So I'd say they're the most valuable players. Bit like Mourinho, when he had his success at Chelsea, he said that his two most valuable players were Lampard and Terry, and they're the players that he would build the team around. So Matty Wilson, he's my Lampard, and James McCallion, he's my John Terry.
Are you saying he's a racist?
No comment. Longest in the shower, well, it used to be Puya when he was at the club. He was in the shower for ages, but when you're carrying a weapon of mass destruction between your legs like Puya is, it's going to take a long time to wash that, you know what I mean? Gregor Rostow always said about Puya, he's got 3 inches on the bend, and I'd have to agree. Puya Ali Paul, very impressive manhood. But Puya's not here this season. He's been out with injury, so I'd have to say the player that spends the most amount of time in the shower currently would have to be Taff. He's the first in there and he's the last out. Sometimes we're down the pub and we're on our 3rd pint, and Taff's still up there at Bury Down in the shower. He's unreal. Probably the longest shower recorded this season though at Tron FC was when we went to the Isle of Wight and we played against Sandown, and Chris Lavisher and Wayne Barlow had a shower together. Not sure why they chose to do that. Maybe it was sort of like a strike partner bonding ritual, but they were in there together for a good sort of 35 minutes. And apparently now Sandown FC have actually now renamed that cubicle Breakback Fountain.